Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to tackle something we've all dealt with, but let's be honest, probably don't fully get. We're talking about the wild and surprisingly complex journey of a medical bill. You know that feeling, right? You've had your checkup, you're hopefully feeling better, but this whole other process is just kicking off. Well, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to follow that bill from the second you walk out the door all the way to the final payment. So, what is medical billing, really? At its heart, you can think of it as a translation service. It takes everything that happened during your visit and converts it into a special language, a standardized code that your insurance company can actually understand. Let's make it real. Say you go in for the flu. The doctor's diagnosis, that gets a code. The tests they ran, that's another code. The medicine they prescribed, yep, that gets a code too. All of these different codes get bundled together into one package, and that package is called a claim. It's basically the whole story of your visit, just told in billing speak. All right, so this claim has been created. Now what? Well, it's about to go on a pretty big journey with a few really important checkpoints along the way. And trust me, each and every stop matters. And here is the basic roadmap for that journey. It kicks off with your visit, moves through coding, gets sent off to the insurer, and then hopefully payment posting. But notice those last two steps, denial management and follow-up. That's where things can get a little tricky, a little complicated. Essentially, every single medical bill you have ever gotten has followed some version of this path. Okay, those first few steps, they are absolutely critical. It all starts at the front desk. They have to get your info exactly right. Then, the medical coders do their translation magic. If everything is perfect, they create what's called a clean claim. And a clean claim is golden because it has a much, much better chance of getting paid quickly. One tiny error here at the start can cause some major headaches down the road. Now, the path that claim takes depends entirely on the kind of insurance plan you have. You can think of your plan as the specific rulebook that governs the whole journey.
This table breaks down the four most common types, and you can see the trade-offs right away. An HMO, for instance, is usually cheaper, but it's more structured. You need a primary care physician, you need referrals. A PPO, on the other hand, gives you a ton of flexibility to see whoever you want without a referral, but that freedom usually comes at a higher cost.
Okay, this right here is probably the most important distinction for your wallet. In-network versus out-of-network. An in-network provider has a contract, a deal, with your insurance company. They've agreed to a lower pre-negotiated price. If you go out-of-network, that contract doesn't exist, and that means you could be on the hook for a much larger and often totally unpredictable bill. All right, so you've seen a provider, and eventually you get a bill, or that explanation of benefits in the mail. To make any sense of it, you have to know the language. These terms might look confusing, but they're really just the building blocks that determine your final cost. First up is the copay. This is probably the one you're most familiar with. It's just a simple, fixed fee you pay when you get there, like $25 for a checkup. Think of it as your ticket in the door. It's just a consistent cost to access care. Next up, the big one, the deductible. This number is so important. It is the total amount you have to pay out of your own pocket each year before your insurance company starts to pitch in. Until you've met your deductible, you're pretty much paying the full negotiated price for most services. So, once you've finally paid your full deductible for the year, you enter the world of co-insurance. This isn't a flat fee like a copay, it's a cost-sharing partnership. From here on out, your plan covers a big chunk of the bill, say 80%, and you're responsible for the other 20%. So how do all these pieces, copays, deductibles, co-insurance, fit together in the real world? Well, it all revolves around one key number you might not even see on your bill, the allowed amount. Let's start with the doctor's initial charge. We'll say they bill $200 for your visit. This is their standard, full price, their sticker price. But here's the secret. This is almost never what you or your insurance actually ends up paying. Because your doctor's in-network, they have that contract we talked about. And that contract sets a pre-negotiated price. Let's say that price is just $120. This is the allowed amount, and it is the most important number in this whole process. All of your costs are calculated based on this lower number, not the original $200. So what happens to that $80 difference? The provider just writes it off. It's called a contractual adjustment. That is the huge benefit of staying in network. You are not responsible for that amount, period.
Now, with all of this complex information flying back and forth between all these different places, there's a powerful set of rules working in the background to protect your most sensitive info. And that law is HIPAA. You've probably heard of it. Its main job is to make absolutely sure that your private health information is kept private and secure by everyone who handles it, from the receptionist to the biller to the insurance company itself. And what exactly does it protect? It's called Protected Health Information, or PHI. This includes the obvious stuff like your diagnosis, but also your name, your address, your social security number, basically anything that can be used to identify you in a medical context. And this isn't just a friendly suggestion, it's the law. Every single person who touches your claim on its journey is legally bound to protect your privacy. It is the absolute foundation of trust in our healthcare system. So, as you can see, the journey of a medical bill is about way more than just numbers and codes. And this quote really gets to the heart of it. Accuracy in billing is not just about numbers. It's about trust, care, and integrity. It's a powerful reminder that getting this complex process right is essential for maintaining that critical trust between you, your doctor, and your insurer. Thanks so much for joining me.